Hey there, you're watching the Data Dispatch. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm kneeling on the ground because today I want to do a long-term gear review of the Katabatic Palisade's 30-degree quilt. That is this quilt. But before we do that, in case researching quilts versus sleeping bags is a new concept to you, I want to spend a few seconds just discussing exactly what a quilt is, what a quilt isn't, and how it differs from a sleeping bag. If you think about what a traditional sleeping bag is, it's something typically in a mummy shape with a full zipper, probably a draft or baffle tube that runs down the interior of the zipper to keep cold air out, and has a hood. Well, a quilt has none of those things. It might have a zipper, certainly not a draft or baffle tube, no hood, and some quilts, this one included, don't even have a back. They're designed to just easily open up and throw on top of you like a quilt at home. Okay, so why do I like this specific bag so much? And I absolutely love it. I think this is the best, or certainly one of the best all-around sleeping bag that I've come across, and one of my favorite pieces of kit, period. But before I get started talking about why I like it so much, let's just talk specs. Like I said, this is the Katabatic Palisade's 30-degree bag. This is the 900 fill. It is regular width, 6 foot long, and weighs 18 ounces on my scale. They advertise 17 and a half, so pretty much spot on. And when I ordered it 2 years ago, it cost $460, so it's not cheap at all. And I just checked just now, I figured there was some inflation, but it is exactly $460 still. So why do I like this so much? I've thought a lot about how to really talk about this, but there are no hard and fast things, or very few, that I can get across about why I like it. It's not like reviewing a battery. I can just say it lasts longer clearly, or a stove, and just say it boils faster. Really, I can just give you my experience of owning it for a couple years, and hopefully it gets across why I think it's so good. Number one, it's just really, really well built. It's the best put together sleeping bag I own. And I mean, I'm not a seamstress or anything, but like there were, as soon as I got it, there were no threads sticking out anywhere. There was not a sew line misplaced. And now after owning it for a couple years, I mean, it's pretty much brand new, and I've put it through the ringer, or it looks brand new, and I've definitely put it through the ringer. Number two, and this is probably actually more important than number one, it is warm. When they say this is a 30-degree bag, this is a 30-degree bag for sure. I've slept in freezing weather with just long underwear on and been mildly chilly. Perfectly fine though. And I've slept in this down into the mid-20s, upper 20s with just a light jacket on and been fine. And I sleep cold. Like, for typically, if I were to sleep in a big box bag, like not to call them out, I actually quite like Sierra, but any like the Sierra Designs bags or anything that I've slept in that are a 20 or 30-degree bag near that temperature, I am just not comfortable. I don't believe the EN ratings, but I do believe the Katabatic ratings, and this 30-degree bag is definitely comfortable at 30 degrees for me. Having no back, it's just super packable. It goes into the smallest stuff sack I have, and it also makes it lighter. Like I said, this bag weighs 18 ounces on my scale. For comparison, a Sierra Designs 700 fill, so it's not the same quality, so like a typical just big like REI type bag you would go buy, or your local backpacking store you go buy. A Sierra Designs Zizu 30-degree bag weighs 34 ounces. That is basically double this bag for nothing. It probably sleeps colder, honestly. But that's half the price. I think that bag's probably $250, or even maybe cheaper, a couple $100. So looking at something nicer, a Feather Friends 30-degree bag, very expensive, $360. Still not quite as expensive as this, but a very expensive 30-degree sleeping bag, 26 ounces, half a pound heavier than this. And what are you getting? In my opinion, personally, nothing. You give up a hood, so what? You're probably carrying a hood. To me, I just like sleeping under this quilt. When it gets warm, I'm able to easily just pop it off, just like this, and lay it down like that. Just, open it up. But when it gets cold, and this is where it's really cool, it ships with these yellow ropes. Hopefully you can see, you can see this. It ships with these yellow ropes that you just tie around your bag. I honestly don't use these that much because to me it's perfectly fine. If I snap this up, it stays on me. There's just some elastic. Let's see if you can see. There's some elastic right in here that keeps it just up underneath your body. It's great. But if it does get really cold, it has these little snaps. Put it on the string, and that way you can put it where you want it and it will just stay there, eliminating the drafts. Now that does that then actually makes it, in my opinion, slightly harder to get out of than just a zipper in a sleeping bag. But what I'll usually do, if it were 38 degrees, so not super cold, but not warm either, I'd probably have 3 of those. There's one here, and 2 on the other side, obviously the same. I would leave one of those undone, and I would have effectively no drafts, and being able to get out and go to the bathroom or something not really easily. Really, that's it. Those are the biggest things about the bag. It's just really, really well built. It's super, super warm. And it compresses, and it's light. I really don't feel like you give up anything moving to this bag over even a high-end Feathered Friends type 30-degree bag, and I would pick this every time. Now, what don't I like about it? Well, for me personally, not much, but I will go over some of the cons that some people say about just quilts generally, not necessarily Katabatic. Number one, for the quilts that have this opening on the bottom, people do complain about having to sleep on this fabric as opposed to the quilt, but I just haven't had that issue. Like this is not uncomfortable to me. It didn't even occur to me until I was reading about people just saying they don't like it. What else? People complain about not having a hood. I like that. It's optionality. I talk about it all the time. Most likely, either my jacket has a hood, or if I'm carrying a lighter jacket, I'll bring a little beanie. It weighs an ounce. It's probably lighter than the hood that they have, and it'll keep me perfectly warm. But if I don't want it, I don't have to have it. Those are the 2 biggest things that people complain about for me. But for me, this quilt is just, if I were starting over, if I lost all of my gear down the river, and I had a set budget for what I had to spend everything on, this would be the thing that if I could afford it, that I would want to replace immediately, would be the Katabatic. It's just so usable anywhere from about 25 degrees, 22 degrees probably if you have some pretty thick, or a normal puffy jacket or puffy pants to wear underneath it, up to 55 or 60 degrees. It starts to warm out then, but it's just, you can just undo it. It's really easy. Anyway, I hope that gets across how this quilt is made, how much I like it. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video at all, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing here, think about subscribing. Until next time, go have some fun outside. See you soon.